Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am Pronogo, and we are doing some dev. Hope you guys are all having a good time. I'm happy to have some opportunity here in the evening to work on my Mapcraft submission, which is an Immikrenia versus Order of the Sacred Saber factional 1v1. I think you'll have to wait for the Escosi tutorial to see the Scralio, Ryan. Just the way it is. But I do appreciate you bringing it up all the time. That is pretty funny. I have here Eye of the Needle, my Mapcraft submission for August Crap 2026. And the layout is starting to take shape. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of custom tiles for this bad boy. I'm hopeful that I can make it feel like it isn't an Ashworld map. By that I mean, well, for one, I happen to know that Shambler's submission is an Ashworld map, and so I don't want people to get fatigued from playing all of the submissions and having it be the same tile set. But for another, one of the other two Zerg missions that are available, the Zerg tutorial, is an Ashworld map. So and you know, the other one being a desert map. So I think this one will be pretty cool. It'll be one that you don't get to see too often, as far as the tiles that I'm going to be using are concerned. And I'll probably add in a couple of custom ones as well, here and there. In particular, I actually need a blend for these little stair crossings. Make like an inner corner out of that or whatever. So that'll be a fun one to do. But you know, even if it doesn't get done, it's whatever. You know, it's map crap, right, guys? It's just map crap. Just map crap things. So yeah, all things considered, obviously I've got a lot of like fine-tuning and stuff to do, but I first wanted to introduce the session a little bit here, the dev session, with the map. And this is potentially going to be an installment of the Lost Gods. I haven't decided yet, and I think I'll probably determine that based on its quality, which is not how I did it for Amber Word. I knew Amber Word was going to be Lost Gods number 4. But I think now that we've done one of each race, we can kind of go wild. We can just say maybe we want one of each faction. I don't know, you know, maybe so it doesn't have to be like, oh, it's always Terran, Protoss, or Escosi, Blood and Kogri, or whatever, right? We got Skirmish Badger, Ryan, and Lucy in the chat. Lucy under 3 different IDs. I can't believe it. That's 3, dude. Now, there's an event in Cosmonarchy's history, lore, setting, whatever, where the Immikrenia tendril infests a significantly sized detachment of the Order of the Sacred Saber. And I don't have a solid term that I've really nailed down for an organization of this scale. Like, I've got like Pavilion for the Orion Imperium, and or I guess Pavilion is, no, I'm thinking of the wrong thing, right? Can't remember. Hold on, I gotta go take a look at something. Let's see. So you've got Imperial platforms, you got Hekaton pavilions. This is why it pays to have notes, guys. Well, platform is like, it's their organization. So Pavilion is from Hekaton. I just had them confused in my head for a second. So that's the play there. But the Order of the Sacred Saber, I actually did do some work on organizationally. I just have to find where I left those notes. I know I have a bunch of their ranks and stuff. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like I didn't actually come up with a general term, but like the word pillar exists for the divine primacy, and the word for sacred saber, yeah, there's legion. So consensus is the term that is there for Order of the Sacred Saber. So that gives me a lot. So let's see. Yeah, consensus is the term for Sacred Saber-like organization. So the Adanon consensus is the is a group of the Order of the Sacred Saber that gets infested by Imacrenia in universe. And I want to chronicle that happenstance with this mission here, Eye of the Needle. This is really important for one of the... I guess right now it's on the like pipe dream back burner, but I want to make a 15 mission campaign at some point that chronicles a lot of really important events in the sector, and one of them involves the Adanon. So being able to show what the sort of what they're all about here, and have them be like, you know, this is them before they were infested or whatever, it's pretty good. So this is going to be an Adanon shield world. I think it'll probably be where the hub of their operations sit. And they will have just seemingly prevailed over the Zerg in Conquest. And I haven't exactly scored out how the... I haven't exactly sussed out what is going to happen with the backdrop to this, but I know for a fact that, like, the Adanon are going to be in a position where they, where, you know, they're not going to just assume that their opponent has sort of like given up the ghost. They're going to be pretty what would you say, interrogatory. They're going to be very they're going to interrogate the claim that they have actually won pretty aggressively, but they will have missed an intrusion force that is sent to basically pop into the into the inner shield world and accomplish what it can to bring about the demise of the Adanon, the infestation of the Adanon, bring them into the fold. So that's the play right now that I'm going to be working on in this particular mission here. That's what I'm going to be chronicling, if you will. And I think it's going to be pretty important to have the Adanon be shown to be like on the level. I don't want this to be a case where the player's like, well, this only worked because my enemy was incompetent. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking a lot about how to make it feel like this is a proper entrenched position, despite the fact that this is a 1 versus 1, and that I don't want the player to just get A-moved at the beginning of the game. And I also don't want the player to be, you know, slogging through a bunch of stuff Starcraft 2 mission style or whatever. So, the time, like, it still remains to be seen how much time is going to be put into the, you know, the mechanics and the AI and stuff. But I have a couple of ideas for how I want to navigate the setup. And those include the ability to basically have these things that the Imacrenia Tendril will be uniquely designed or uniquely able to be able to make use of. So this is a shield world, and the vast majority of the Order of the Sacred Saber is securing the outer lying positions, and maybe even to a degree, you know, having the civilian population celebrate the victory that their military has secured. But the military scouts or whatever are you know far in the far corners of the controlled space, you know, far enough away that it will take some time to bring them back to a defensive posture. And so this is the opportune time to strike, where really only have the one custodian group of junior guard here within the shield world itself. Predominantly because, you know, the defenses were stretched across everywhere else, and then they also were busy actually winning a set of conflicts against the rest of the tendril. So we're going to have a heavy presence of reactivatable defenses, production structures, and those can be claimed with pylon power, or they can be infested directly. And the pylon power thing is important. One basic thing that I'm going to need to add is a one basic thing that I'm going to add is a way to detect if a structure or a unit, I guess, is actively powered, and if they are, then do a thing, right? So a condition. And so the Krieg basically will be like, you know, say I give it to player 3, and then we basically just say, you know, I guess we'll say elapsed time or whatever. It's a little bit more performant. And then we say, P3, Makrenia reclaims structure. And this is only for pylon power. And so, I guess this will have to be twofold, right? Because I don't think I can detect what structure is actually powering the thing. Let's see here. Create power auras. Oh, okay, here we go. Unit has power. I guess that doesn't matter, so that's whatever. Well, unit has power. It's just checking everything within the provider. So this doesn't really help us because we need to be able to do this for a specific unit. Yeah, there's no method or anything like that for that. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure how we would program it exactly, but I think... I'd like to refactor that to get rid of all that indentation. But it's not that. Okay. Anyway, that's not really that significant. Basically, what we do here is we say condition unit has power. I guess so. What I would probably do if I can't figure out how to get power, I can't do this quite as generically as I thought, but I would basically have to do like, I think what I would do is I would have a reactivation trigger for, I'd have to do it for each structure if I was going to do, yeah, that's kind of lame as hell, isn't it? Like, it's still possible to do, it's just that's a lot more complicated. So I don't actually know. I would really like to be able to confirm I would really like to be able to confirm who's got what power or whatever. No, Zerg do not verticogri as mammalian. I mean, it would probably technically be true, but there's they probably called it like gargantuan or something. All right, let's take a look to see if we can find. All right, so there's unit color here as an example. So this will be unit has power. Has so we got designator. And then we have all this players, plural. And so what I would need to be able to do again is figure out something about this. Yeah, I don't actually know how we would... I guess we would basically... First we would say, like, unit is frozen, I think? I think that would work, but I'm honestly not sure. Grid war unit is stunned. No, this doesn't have anything to do with that, actually. Requires... So we would want to have this be, I think we can check like tile flags or something for power. I know we can do that for Kagra. It's kind of weird. Okay, so we check the units ext.scilink.next. Interesting. So when do we actually check this? Because this might actually be a function we need to call for each unit or something, but I don't know about that one. Maybe I need to open up the ye old IDA. But I am going to have a lot of stuff like this around the map where you basically have the ability to, the AI player that you're fighting against, the CPU, has the capacity to just build a pylon and reactivate stuff as a result. But you can also infest it and reactivate it for yourself, of course. I suppose if you infest it, you just have it. But yeah, we would still need to be able to like rescue the structure, and it would have to be back and forth. So if it doesn't work this kind of automatic way that I've taken it, kind of It kind of sucks, doesn't it? Okay. Unit has power. Yeah, this is a very complicated way to detect if it has power, but I guess it is the way. There's no, like... There is no just, like, assigning a variable to the unit, I guess. So where does this exactly, if we look at this here, we are doing a 4 first visible. I feel like I have to like create a version of this that accepts a unit. Yeah, this is really funny. So I think basically if I do a unit method, right, called bool sci power field search, I guess, and we do this, right? Instead of unit here, we do this, and then we say U32 player. We have to add this. This is going to be under hooks, and we just have to add include, and then where is sci field at? Okay, just hooks sci field, and then we have that, and then we just have to do bool power field search. Okay, this might work out a little bit easier than I thought, funnily enough. Oh, this actually is... Yeah, that's not quite what we actually want. So what we would do is we would say if unit does not equal this, and then we would do continue. And we just have to do this, and it should be good. Right. So, I mean, this is kind of dumb that we have to make a copy of it. I think it's correct to do it this way. Apparently we're missing X. Oh, interesting. X and Y is 32X and Y. Where are those fields provided? First visible sprite. Okay, so it's whatever the unit. It's the sprite position. Okay, so instead of worrying about this here, we can actually just say and then this sprite position.y, and then I guess we wouldn't want to have to write that out the whole time, right? So we would just go ahead and do this sprite position x, and then there you go. Thoughts on IKEA? Open question to anybody who wants to give thoughts on IKEA. I hear that they have good food. That's all I got. Okay, so yeah, that's fine, because we're not running the search for everything, right? We're basically, what we're doing is we're looping through every sci field and the provider and the whole map and checking to see if it matches this unit's position. So we actually shouldn't bother with that then, right? And I guess what we should do here is we should say, what is the 32x and S32y? Okay, we just add this. That. Okay, so actually we can do it, funnily enough. We just have to pass the right So I guess that actually means that we can just call this function. But the player has to be... Yeah, okay. So I'm misunderstanding. I'm basically like live reverse engineering this function because it's a little bit weird. So I'm going to leave myself some notes about this. It doesn't look like we actually need this at all, which is good news. I didn't want to have to make that function anyway. Searches. So we'll say X and Y are a given unit's sprite position. And checked against player and I'm just leaving myself that note. That'll remind me later. So all we actually need to do, funnily enough, is we can actually even come back up here. We can go ahead and delete that, and then we can go into the trigger system and go into... I mean, I'm assuming we can even probably find sci field. Unit has power. Go into helper here. Oh, it's actually not defined as a helper, weirdly. All right, well, we can just go ahead and define it ourselves as a helper. We don't need to inject that specifically. It looks like it has the same thing, right? Unit ID, yeah, okay. And so we'll say bool unit has power. That's really good. I'm glad that we figured that one out. All right, unit 16, unit ID, S32X, S32Y, and then UA player ID. And then we'll say static const 32 phone address. And then here we have gotta push it in backwards there. Just checking the established convention on that. Okay, so now we do okay, so this is where we're gonna get a little funky, right? Because we gotta compare all players in players, right? I don't actually know how we do that, so let's figure that out. This is play sound for player bit set. Trigger player. I'm a little bit perplexed. Let's see if we can figure this out. Source players. Okay, so we're doing like a... I don't actually know how this works. I mean, we can try just doing unit has power or whatever it is, yeah. Return. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So I guess we do have to iterate over it. We have to do, like... This is so dumb. Oh, this is for a count, though. We don't really care about the count part, right? We would say for... No, I don't actually know how we're gonna do this one. What's up? Oh, no, never mind. I thought that was I am the weight of God. What the hell? That is kind of weird, Lucy. I never really thought about that, but yeah, I don't think you can ever do cigarette delivery, can you? Nobody's doing that yet. Probably because nobody can. Yeah, guys, all my brain cells are going into this programming, and it's not going so well yet. I thought I understood how to do this thing, but then I didn't. Because it's doing stuff like... No, that's not the kind of comparisons that I need. Well, I didn't say it was business advice, to be fair. I just said nobody's doing that yet. And then I even said probably because nobody can legally. Intoxication via programming. That's right, Green Eggs. I haven't even drank or smoked. Excuse me. That burp was calling me a liar. I ain't no liar, but I am a burper. Oh, I see. I guess we need to do a quick entity search around the units that we have, right? That was kind of the whole point. Because we're not doing a count here, so that's kind of dumb. What we're trying to check is... Yeah, entry array. Okay, we just do this, and then we say... This feels like it's going to be really expensive, potentially. But I guess as long as you don't do the whole map, every unit ID, it'll probably be fine. Logically, I think this is correct. But you know, I've been wrong before. I'm sure there's a way to simplify this player loop or whatever, but Veek will tell me in a PR, you know what I mean? I'm not too concerned by it. So that actually should be totally fine, and then we can basically do unit is powered by... What is this? Unit is power... The fuck? Oh my god, we were frauded. Wow, it just does the wrong stuff. Well, that probably doesn't matter, though. So we have unit is powered by, and then it's an area. So actually, we will be iterating over every unit, so hopefully it's not too slow. We'll be iterating over the whole map. So we'll figure it out, won't we? Let's see. I guess So this is actually a bigger issue because I need something even more specific than this. This is one step of it. So what we just coded isn't like wrong. But I actually need like yeah, I actually need something like okay, we actually can't do the I then, right? Yeah, this has to be one specific player. So here we'll do auto players parser get player. And then we'll say yeah, this is like more specific than that, right? So all the same code, except we don't need to worry about this. We just do this. Not players anymore. So yeah, this is what we actually need. What a weird thing to have to program. So when you power a unit, you will get it rescued. We needed to do both of those things. So we don't have the condition thing. That's actually not there. This just has to be running all the time, basically. So we check to see if the unit across the whole map... Oh, I guess we have to do the original owner, right? So we would have to say designator... Oh no, I guess this is fine, right? Because designator includes a player. So let's take a look at this. So we're going to do rescue unit powered by the whole map. And I believe its designator is area players unit. Yeah, that's what I thought. So we'll say 13 for current player because it's owned by player 3. And then we'll say... I guess for now we'll just give it the maximum permissiveness about unit IDs. Technically, this would always return true if you have a structure... if you have a unit that doesn't require power. So we should probably do this as like, if we go to our scenario setup document, we should probably do unit ID groupings. And there is one that's just structures, right? So it's buildings. So plus me. And then we would say, well, the quota doesn't matter anymore. We don't care about that. I mean, we could take one, you know, we could take a count or whatever, but I'm not going to do that. It's just all units at the location that fit the bill. And then the, yeah, do that. And then we'll say, wait 50 milliseconds, preserve trigger. Yeah. And then here we do the same thing, but it's the opposite 50 milliseconds. And we do, they wait 50 milliseconds first. That's what we're talking about. And this is if it's powered by the add-on. Okay, look at that! We already did a huge thing for our map. That's really important. We're going to go ahead and test to make sure that that's the case, of course. I would like to do that. Let's go ahead and build our stuff. This does still mean, though, that we did add the code for detecting if something has power. We should probably, like, confirm that, I guess. So let us build... Yes, we're going to say... so you're going to spawn here. And then we will have a... Get that. Do that. That. Oops, I don't know why I'm doing Terran. Third ground units. We have this. And then we just have to do our unit ID. And the Enzorther core is 415. Alright. Alright, cool. We'll just pretend there are minerals there, guys. It's fine. Now, what we should be able to do here, we go on our map crap, and then, oh, we're still user select, but that doesn't really matter. What the fuck? We couldn't have crashed because of the code that we added, because it doesn't run until 3 seconds of elapsed in-game time. I don't know actually what's going on there. Is it because we don't have a start lock for this guy, maybe? Could be, it could also be that they're everybody's user select or something, right? Actually, that was the only one who was user select, so I don't know about that. Oh! That probably does have something to do with it, but I can't be certain. Okay, yeah, we're good now. So now, if we have a scribe... Oh! Oh, snap! Well, I'm gonna have to... One... Initialize player objectives, resources, etc. And we'll just set resources for current player. 2. Under all players, we're going to go ahead and make another one that's a map initialization. And then this one is set cheats allowed true. Set cheat. And then this one is set function run. Okay. Okay, so now should be able to spawn a scribe. Okay. Oh, well, it won't be powered because we're not allies. So that's actually a fun little thing that we just tested. So here we're going to say, was stop us. Set 2 to ally, set player 1 to ally. And then we're going to do this real quick as well. Set player 1 to... It's actually supposed to be player 2 to enemy. Okay. Yeah. It could have also been neutral, but I didn't check for that. Oh, it's really trying. It's trying to. It's not quite working. I don't know why. I mean, it's making the flash and the rescue sound. Protoss microwave. Does say give unit player. So part of it is working. I'm not really sure why it wouldn't, why it doesn't do that. Because it wasn't actually. Oh, no, it was definitely not controllable by us, right? I wasn't crazy. Yeah, it's still controlled by the computer. Weird, weird. Why wouldn't it work? Because we know that the... I don't know what I just... Oh. We know that the function here, the rescue unit function, works. Oh, I guess I can do... I guess I can do that a little bit nicer. We know, so that's the weird thing. I guess this almost feels like the target player, like it's being given to the wrong player or something, which is not, that shouldn't be the case. Rescue unit powered by anywhere on the map, owned by current player, which is player 3, buildings 1. 1 being the player that you get rescued to. Are we supposed to -1 it? Because no, that wouldn't make sense, because then it would be given to player 2, which we're hostile to. That doesn't really work either. But I guess we do have to do if player minus equals 1. Yeah. Well, I guess we should do it that way because we should do it that way because we were using it twice later, and so it's kind of dumb to have to inline 2 -1s. Wouldn't be too bad to implement the count since it's already done for the rescue unit rig. Not Zerg House, no! No, anything but Zerg House, please. Don't Zerg House. God damn, that's brave. Zerg Apiary is a little silly, but we'll We can deal with that. That's fine. Oh my god, it worked! Alright, boys, we're in business. A cozy house? No. Not happening. We should also confirm that it works for the supercomputer. Let's go into here. We'll say one. Hello? Why you do that? No. I don't understand personally. Alright. Alright, man, if you say so. That feels like a different bug. Is it like trying to micro the... Oh yeah, I was trying to go after my workers, dude. And then it just kind of bugged out for some reason. Okay, whatever. Blood summon store. Just a pack of blood. Because it's a store of blood. Not like convenience store, you know? Alright. Honestly, I'm feeling kind of like... hyped up is the wrong word. But I'm good. I'm feeling good about the fact that we got that. Because that took really no time at all, and it's like that's a really like I don't know, advanced feature a little bit. So I'm feeling good about that. We did some programming just now. I don't know if anybody else will ever make a mechanic based around that, but if they ever wanted to, they now have the ability to. And that's pretty cool. Holy shit, that's Zethracore Sprite, dude. Balethal, I was almost willing to start asking you if you want to make a... Shit, I totally forgot about this, guys. I totally forgot about this epic man. Yeah, I wanted to cast a TVP I saw on Aegis that went long. I don't know if anybody will watch that replay for me, though. Where are we going? Alright, lads. Prepare yourselves for epic. Protoss didn't get any buffs. You say so, boss. Just gotta wait for Blender to show us the epic. Show me the epic. Gotta get a visual buff in this museum. in this Wiener Schnitzel. Where I'm going to have to quickly grab the file path or something else. That's right, Ryan. New Amaranth. That means factional Amaranth unlocked, because we got an easier thing to work with now. Oh no, 4.5 sub 92. Oh no. Whatever. You know what, Blender? Get me out of here. Yeah, let us blaze a trail is the show. Let us blaze a trail. Let us blaze a trail. It's a little bit more like that, a little bit less growly. I did some growl on autopilot because earlier I did Tarask voice acting for Shambler's Mapcraft submission. This one is more like a certain beaver might know about this one, but this one says, "Bring me to bear." Rediscovered content. This is new content. Yep, exactly. Let's go ahead and take a look at some ye old iScript. Are we omnidirectional with this guy? No, we are not. We should be, because he is... I didn't even realize that. We definitely want to be omnidirectional with this guy because he is off to one side, right? He doesn't swap around like that. Makes sense to do right angle animation. Is actually better for testing, especially if like for render times, right? But it's also really important that we, I don't know why he's going to cast spell animation. It's also really important if if the base graphic is not omnidirectional, it doesn't really help you to get all those frames out. You can't see them anyway. I want to say that's correct, but I don't really know. I'm going to need to go ahead and take a look at the graphic once it's done rendering. And then I'll be able to tell. Only set them to right so I work with the president. Yeah, exactly. Do a map folder of all the coffee donor maps. Oh, yeah. Huh. In a better if we had a better database for mapping, like we could actually sort by tag. So you could sort by like author, whether it was bountied, who bountied it, spawn amount and stuff like that. Read me for the histories of who donated it, what the inspiration was. That would be pretty good. Yeah, Cantavis remake means Grand Library's full. It is kind of an event when we have full custom models for a particular structure, right? Like, Terran is what? Vulture, Cyclops, Goliath. Well, this is the Hecatons, but we go back to Orion. Vulture, Cyclops, Goliath, Blackjack, Matador, Phalanx, Madrigal. Technically, that's all full custom. Like, the Phalanx is in 3ds Max. We haven't ported it to Blender yet, so we do have to do that at some point, but it's all that, like, that's a full custom structure, right? And then the stockade is just missing the Eidolon. Once the Eidolon is done, then we have a full custom in that. Even though like the Shaman needs work and the Savant needs work. That's still pretty cool. For the star pad, we need Trojan and Valkyrie, so it's a little bit further away from full custom. But still pretty rad. Technically, the Ministry is full custom. We have Talos, Mason, and Ogun. Ogun definitely could use some work. I think the Talos probably needs to be a little bit smaller, too. I don't know. Maybe that's a controversial take. Captaincy, we don't have a Heracles model. We don't have a Siren model or a Striga model, but everything else is custom. For the Mantle, we don't have a Ramses model. Everything else is custom. That's actually kind of a surprise. I feel like the Ramses should be an easy one to maybe whip up the Cyclops into. But the Cyclops was kind of a fucky mesh. I think it got remeshed at some point by Solstice. For the Starport, we have the Gorgon, which we don't have a custom model for, the Wyvern, the Pythian, the Sundog. The Salamander is not custom, the Azazel is not custom, the Seraph is not custom. So we're actually missing 4 out of 7 units there. That's a worse ratio. Apothecary, nothing is custom, if you can believe it. Iron Foundry, we have the Paladin and the Claymore and the Aeon. We don't have Anti-Chthon, we don't have Penumbra, and we don't have Cuirass or Pazuzu. I was working on a Cuirass one a long time ago, it just wasn't very good. And then we have the Centaur, the Minotaur, no, not the Minotaur, not the Magnetar. Yeah, so we have 3 out of 5 with an because we have Phobos and we have Hippogriff. I do really think we need to redo the Centaur idea. I don't think the existing Centaur model really quite hits the notes that the old one did. It's a fine concept potentially for, you know, like another kind of ship, but it doesn't quite hit the same, you know what I mean? Gateway's full custom. The Lattice, we need what do we need? I guess technically I would just like a better Manifold and a better Golem, but everything is technically full custom in the Lattice. Grand Library, yeah, once Amaranth is done, it's just the Cantavis. Ardent Authority, we need Servitor and a Cantor. Stargate, we almost full custom. We don't have the Exemplar. That's the one thing for the Stargate. For the Prostration stage, we have Potentate, and that's it. Sycophant, Pariah, Mind Tyrant, not custom. Ancestral Archives, we don't have Patriarch or Archon. Unitary Union, we only have the Unar and the Architect. The other 2 are not. Nothing in the Synthetic Synod is custom. Monument of Sin is full custom, technically, you know. Thumbs up. Magister, Didact, Solarian are not custom, so there's that. For Zerg, of course, we're not exactly swimming. But hold on. If we get the Zethracore, let me go back to the default tech tree. We have the Quaz and the Lyrilisk. We have the Nath and the Calc. The pool will be full custom when we get the Zeth and the Vorv, so that's pretty good, man. I'm talking model replacements. And yeah, current Centaur model would be a factional unit. I guess that's probably what you were responding to. We have the Zorius, but no Ultracore remodel. We have no Gorg or Zark. We have no Lakes or Zobrio. We have Izzy, but no Teth. No Hydrobact. No Skith Vith. Yeah. The pool is the closest one to being full custom. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. Yeah, I mean that's awesome, Balethal. I hope that you end up, with something that we can use for some pretty cool shit. If nothing else, I'll at least be able to use it as like a factional thing. Fucking eating a feast. Yeah, that's how I feel too. You know, that's my shit right there. We're gonna go ahead and give our iScript a compile. Amaranth cast spell does not exist. That's because it doesn't need to. None. It's not exactly related to my mapcraft submission, but I'm still happy to do it. I'll tell you that much. Okay, we can get rid of this program. We don't need that open right now. And I am going to go into here. Amaranth. So are we correct in 220 being the final frame? It looks like we are. Okay. Let's give it a go. Progress F. Oh. Am I allowed to show it on stream, Balethal? Otherwise, I will open it on my other monitor.
My blade must sing. Push forward. So it shall be.
So it looks like the ice script probably skips a few frames for attack responsivity. And obviously our selection circle is a little bit fudged. Yo, get this guy. Fuck this guy up, dude. Get him out.
My blade must sing. Push forward. The procession. This is ours.
He's still being flipped because I didn't change a flag in the data. That's an elite. Asangili. What's going on? Jason Estrada did a little programming. Is this like redoing StarCraft 1 or 3? It's more like StarCraft 3. Cosmonarchy adds 50 units, or makes it so that each race has about 50 units, and redoes a bunch of the mechanics, improves a lot of the responsivity of the StarCraft 1 engine, and we're also in the process of, as you might be able to tell, adding custom models to some of our units and stuff, so always upgrading things where we can. And we also have a fourth race that we added already called the Ascozi, Cybernetic Lizards, and then we've got demons coming at the end of the year, so... and we got some custom campaign stuff, you know, original campaign stuff done as well. Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, when people see the breadth of content that you have in Cosmonarchy, they usually have a reaction like that. We had a tournament that was a $1,000 prize pool, Acropolis 4, and we had StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 pros playing in it. Hanmano, South Korean, and Siki from Hungary, a foreign, they call them foreign if they're not from the Korean scene, a foreign pro. Also bro, he's my bromy. And it was a pretty high bracket. Siki ended up winning it, so shows you a little legitimacy there, right? When you get a pro involved. But he had to work for it. It wasn't easy. Our next one of those tournaments. Next one of those tournaments is starting up in September with the qualifications to the main stages, so we will have another one of those coming up. Okay, we were looking at the Amaranth. Make him omnidirectional for his warp flash as well, and then I'm thinking we need like a 15 vertical position on that guy. You want a tourney ladder in StarCraft 1? Is that back in like the I-Cup days? I think it might have technically been IC Cup. International Cyber Cup, but whatever. So it shall be. Yeah, the first attack is fine, right? And then the secondary attack is like blue. So that's really silly. Let's see if we can figure out what that is. Oh, it's just because the ground attack repeat. Well, I guess that would make sense. But I think we can probably put that up here. Maybe we only skip the first frame? We'll see what it looks like. Also, we got to factor in like responsivity of the attack, so we don't want to make it. We don't want to make this visual buff a nerf to the unit's ability to attack.
This is ours.
So I think we probably want. Maybe we skip this one. Let me skip that one. Right. Oh, I think we have to do no break could start at the top. Why is it not doing that? Oh. It wasn't letting me do entry while that was up. It's probably a smart thing. In like 1998? Hell yeah, dude.
My blade must sing. So
yeah, that looks a little bit better.
Push forward. So it shall be. ours. Push forward. My blade must sing. This is ours.
What thou calls Gaokola. Isora Su. She house Gaokola.
Bound by your will, bring me to bear.
Bring him to bear.
Your finest hour awaits. Your words are heard. Unfold our path.
That's pretty good. Went ahead and posted that screenshot for preservation in the donor section. I hope you guys enjoy that one. All right, let's take a look at the Zetracor. Ooh, look at that guy. That's pretty, honestly, isn't that like surprisingly close for a first pass? You can obviously make out more details. He doesn't look quite as thick as the current guy does. I would almost, I almost want you, I know you haven't like rigged it or anything yet. I almost want you to save this and it's not sensible. You just rig it and do it as you would for the final cut and then go from there. But I don't know, man. Especially from the back, that looks pretty good. Like the resolution of the spikes is maybe a little bit of a perplexing one, but so anyway, the only thing I was gonna say is he probably does need to be wider to be matching the proportions that we all imagine from the existing Zeth. Like if we like in actuality, this guy probably isn't that wide. It's just that the shadow makes him look bigger, so maybe he'll look bigger in action. I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't change anything. That's looking pretty good. Yes, the Zergling graphic is really iconic, so we want to make sure we're doing good with it. And that's kind of why I'm saying, like, we probably want to match the proportions even that are an illusion, as opposed to, like, worrying about it being quote-unquote accurate or whatever. What's up, Alexander? You're talking about the spikes? I'm thinking about, like, up here in the upper torso area or whatever. That looks very legit to me. But the spikes do make it look a little bit more like the Nathracor almost. The intention is to try to make it so that it's not just a single blob of color, as that's what I'm reading it as. But we might want to make it so that there's less of them. Maybe these ones closest to its midsection could be lopped off, and then we would have a less pronounced set of spikes, because that does maybe fuck with the silhouette a little bit. You can also kind of tell though that like from the back we can't really see it as much, right? Which makes sense. It's like the perspective of it and all. I think from the from the front angle when it's facing down, I think it looks a little bit more legit. So that's why I'm saying maybe instead of getting rid of it entirely, you would just make it so that midsection one, the biggest one, right? We would cut that out or something like that. If you're talking about the things that it attacks with, that's there. That's there here too. You see them right here. They almost look like horns when looking from the back. Yeah, I think just get rid of one of the sets of spikes. See how that looks? You can always undo it if we hate it. No, that's what it's attacking with. If you can see they're actually extending. Okay, that's not. That is not it. I guess that doesn't really help us, does it? Yeah, you can see it really clearly on this angle, right? And the one on the bottom right. Those are claws, man. Yeah, it is using its claws on the arms coming from its back. That's this sprite, dude. Well, it was a mistake to try to web search in 2026, I guess. No, it's not using its face. It has a maw, but I don't know what the fuck it does with it. I guess the unit wireframe kind of tells you something there, but... Shopkeeper dinosaur, dude. That actually makes sense, considering he's the Escozy. Alright, so that's pretty cool. That's really awesome, and I am glad that you have done that. Any good games get played? Because it walks on big spikes on its forelimbs. Oh yeah, that's right. It does do that. It's that's one of the goofier things. Well, Ryan, it's just been created in like sculpting and whatever with some materials, right? It hasn't been rigged or animated, and so we got a little bit of time before we get there. But very cool stuff. Balethal, I'm gonna go ahead and just guess that I can save this. Despite the fact that I'm on sub 90 instead of sub 92. I'm sure it's fine, right? They wouldn't go with 2 subversions and change everything that we use. Yes, new Amaranth. All I did was, you know, configure it to Omni and change the file paths for the export, so that's fine. Yeah, that's really good. That's awesome. All right, guys, that's actually all the time that I have here, but I'll go ahead and get ready to push the... I'll go ahead and get ready to push the new Amaranth before the end of the night, hopefully. Thank you to Balethal for assembling that. I'll get on my homie Junthrion to get a graphic ready for it. We go here to Amaranth, and then we go find him in our list. Here he is. Amaranth model. There you go. So yeah, we'll probably go ahead and do yeah, we're going to be doing some more of this later on, but we did a lot of really good work on the mechanics of it, that's for sure. I'm really glad to have that be further aligned, further along. We know exactly what we're going to be doing on the Krieg front. We've basically taken care of that business. So that's taken care of, and we'll be back for more dev of this sometime tomorrow. I'll see you guys then. GG.